know those times when you feel like you have no control. The anxiety and depression is so strong you feel like you are in a constant state of chaos. Weeks go by and by with no happiness. These weeks make me feel like my darkest self, when it feels like nothing of me is left. But out of the darkness, there is light.
I step into the light, it does me no harm. I become clear and it makes me feel invisible and strong, incapable of wrong, like I can be safe inside the storm.
I've already primed my skin with the Angel Veil primer from NYX and applied my foundation. Now I take a cream dark purple shadow and contour my face, then take a matte black shadow and deepen the contour. I also take this contour up into the hairline. I was going for a darkened and messy complexion as a base for what I'm applying later. Then I highlight with some bright pink from the NYX Brights Ultimate palette for a pop of color and more dimension. I was swatching colors to try and look at my reaction to this bright purple fuchsia. It's gorgeous. I use this as a mid-tone color between the pink and the purple. Here's the actual color from the Brights palette. I also place this in the hairline. Then I prime my eyes with the NYX HD primer base, and while that sets a little, I decided I wanted to add more darkness in my hairline with a matte black. Apply a piece of tape by following the line of your nose to the side of your eye. It's even every time. Now take the light lilac shade from the NYX Brights palette and use that as a transition shade for the next color to help it blend out easier. To blend that, I use a matte beige from the NYX Cool Neutrals palette and a fluffy blending brush. Then with a small dome brush, apply the beautiful bright fuchsia purple color from earlier into the crease. Blend this as you swipe back and forth with your brush, just to give it a little bit of a more transitioned look. Then apply the dark purple from the Brights palette to the eyelid with a flat shader brush. Then go into the outer corner with a dark duochrome purple blue cream eyeshadow and apply it either with your finger or with a synthetic brush. Then go ahead and apply the bright fuchsia into the inner corner of the eye with an angled shadow brush. For the lower lash line, I used a black eyeshadow and placed a dark purple eyeshadow over it, and then blended them together with a small pencil brush. Okay, so here's the fun creative part. With a small dome pencil brush, take a purple eyeshadow and start adding soft lines coming from under the eyes, and do this on both sides. There's no rhyme or reason to where I placed them, I just wanted it to look chaotic and kind of crazy. This is a great opportunity to use your own creativity and play around with the placement of the lines. With a matte black eyeshadow, I'm going over and next to where I placed the purple lines to add more depth and be a little bit more chaotic. The best thing about looks like this is that you can just be creative, place the lines wherever you feel like they need to be placed, and don't worry so much about the exact placement. With the matte purple, I do the same idea on the upper eyelid. Again, I have no plan, I'm just placing the color wherever I feel it needs to be.
To hold up my weight.
With the matte black eyeshadow, I go over the purple and smudge out the black to make it not look like it's just a straight line.
Step into the light, it does me no harm.
With a thin liner type brush, take the matte black and go around the face making small strokes wherever you feel like putting them, just for a little bit more texture.
Safe inside the storm.
Take a fine liner or paintbrush and some black water activated face paint to make some arch type shapes on the forehead. This was a reference to an Aquarius artwork that I saw online. Okay, so you might be wondering what I did. Well, I placed some more lines around the nose and onto the forehead, and I ended up painting it. So eventually I take all of the center part of the lines off the nose, but that happens later. Here I just wanted to show that I placed a few more lines on the eyelid and up onto the forehead. I then place some thin black lines under the eyes, not being precise or careful.
I see you every morning, the seconds dripping from my face.
a small paintbrush and a custom grayish purple face paint that I mixed together with a lot of water, I take the brush and push it right underneath my eye to cause a tear shape to fall. The wetter the paint, the easier it will be to drip, but if it's too wet, it will just run all down your face. So a medium consistency is best to get the right effect. Now for the lips, I take the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in Black Cherry Tarts, which is a very deep burgundy color, and place that on the outer part of my lip, then apply Funnel, which is a bright, vibrant pink color, into the middle for an ombre lip. Then I made some small marks above my lip with the matte purple shadow, and I also shaded under my lip, but I wish I had done that before applying the lipstick so that I could have blended it out more. Then take each one of the Intense Butter glosses and messily apply them on the outside of the lips and press it in with your finger to blend it out.
Then I'll put on a face you can't ignore. I'll shake your knees, make you believe that if you stay, see right through me. I keep changing shapes, make no mistake.
With a thin liner brush and black face paint, I just make some hash tight marks around the edges of my lips to add texture and bring more black downward.
Asking for any way out.
And for the last step, I just brought some of the purple down my neck to make it not look like I had a mask on, and let my nasty hair down and mess it up a bit, and that's about it. And I did leave my hair gross on purpose. It is supposed to be disheveled and a chaotic look. And that's it for the dark look. Now the bright, happier look. Again, I've already primed with NYX Angel Veil Primer and applied my foundation. Now I had started this look and realized 15 minutes in that the camera was not focused. So I already primed my eyes with the NYX HD Primer and applied the NYX Shadow Base in white with a flat eyeshadow brush and set it with NYX Matte White Eyeshadow from the Eyeshadow Trio. I have also already placed a piece of tape on the end of my eye for a sharper look and to make things move a little faster. So, similar to the first look, I used the lilac shade as my transition color and the fuchsia color in the crease. Then I placed the light mint color onto the lid with a small flat eyeshadow brush. Then start placing a bright matte blue shade into the crease with a pencil brush and blending it out with a small soft dome brush. Then I applied the NYX Extreme Blue Eyeliner with my angled liner brush, and I like to use the liner brush to prevent the liner from getting on my eyelashes because it happens to me every single time. And then I removed the piece of tape from the side of my eye. With a small but fluffy synthetic brush, I apply a small amount of the NYX White Eyeshadow Base into the inner corner. I want to have a nice bright inner corner for the next shade, which is a bright shimmering yellow from the NYX Trio in Serengeti, and I press that in with an angled shadow brush. Now I go in with a bright blue liner pencil right along the lower lash line and blend it out with a small detail brush before it sets. Then I place the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Peacock right under the blue and blend them.
And it fills your lungs and your air begins to float in between.
And then the Jumbo Pencil in Electric Blue right under that and blend. Then finally a bright acid green pencil under that and overlapping a little bit and then blending that too. I also placed a little into the inner corner for a little bit more color. Then take a dark teal eyeliner and place that into the waterline. Now I take a mid-tone duochrome purple blue shifting eyeshadow and use that to contour my face with a pointed blush brush. Then use a small powder brush and apply a glittery mint eyeshadow above the purple. And at this point it starts to reminisce a mermaid, which makes sense. My inspiration is Aquarius, which is a water sign, so it's definitely a bright, kind of ethereal water type color.
And after they find you at the place where we both decided to make.
I then get some turquoise water activated face paint and spray it down with some water and use a wet beauty sponge to place the paint all along the contours of my neck. I just keep going back into the paint as needed and getting it wet as needed. I take a little bit up onto my face as well, because when I was planning this look, I always envisioned it coming up onto my face somehow, and actually really loved how it ended up. Then I take a purple shade and shade in the empty spaces on my neck where there is no turquoise paint. Then I took a white eyeliner pencil and drew in the design I wanted on my chest. While I was doing this, I did not realize that my camera was not recording. So here is the tail end of me drawing it on. I wanted something that resembled water because I'm an Aquarius and they are a water bearer. I love astrology, so that was a huge inspiration from the water to the colors I chose. And the waves are inspired from a stylized Aquarius art picture I found online. So I just took the white eyeliner and sketched out exactly where I wanted those to end up being. Now I'm going over the drawing of the waves with a thin paintbrush and water activated white face paints. This was a very long process and the struggle was real. So I go through and I outline each wave shape and fill it in with the white and let it dry, and then go back in to fill it in again to make it more opaque. In the end, I love how it turned out, but I certainly was completely done by the end of it. I think it took almost 3 hours just to get those filled in.
We had a good few months so long ago. I couldn't gather up the courage to let you know. We put blankets on our windows to keep the sunlight from our rooms, with mornings making room for the afternoons. We may still see the light, but we know that the star is dead. We may still see the light, it's just as white, your porcelain skin.
I did end up taking a short break from the waves and added some small multicolored dots on each side of my face in blue, hot pink, purple, and light pink.
Scary thought, you surround yourself with them, and you got bruises on your knees.
And then I filled in my eyebrows with a hot pink eyeshadow and an angled liner brush.
I can't hide the fact that I'm disgusted.
I decided later to add a couple more small wave shapes onto my face to bring them up as far as the blue face paint goes.
See the light, it's just as white, your porcelain skin. Your porcelain skin. I'm like a doll with my faith all painted.
Then with the bright aqua cream eyeshadow and a couple of small paintbrushes, I started to shade in the center part of the waves, kind of the widest part. I wanted to add some dimension and add even more color. I just used the brush to blend it out after placing the initial color down, and then with some dark blue I just went in and shaded in some of the ends of the wave shapes for a little bit more dimension. At some point during the next step, my camera cut off again, so I'll just explain what I did to finish. Apply a bright purple lipstick to the outer part of the lips. I used NYX high voltage lipstick and twisted. Then the last step of the makeup is to go in with the bright blue cream eyeshadow that I used for shading the waves and apply it to the center of the lips for an ethereal ombre light. That is all for this tutorial. I had so much fun doing these looks, and I hope that you enjoyed watching. Please like if you did enjoy them, and thank you for watching.
That